All right, what we're going to be doing today, everybody, is we're going to be reviewing for our final. We're going to do 4 problems today that you're going to see on the final that deal with the conic sections. So once again, this particular conic section right here is going to end up being a circle. I know it's a circle because it's x squared plus a y squared, and they're exactly the same. Our a value is equal to 1. Our c value is equal to 1. Okay? You guys remember that long ax squared plus bxy plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. You guys wrote that down from 10-6. Right now I know these are equal. So we're going to complete the square 2 different times with this circle. Alright? So right here you're going to write x squared minus 8x. We're going to complete the square here. We'll do y squared plus 4y. We're going to complete the square here. And we're going to set this equal to a negative 16 because I'm moving the negative 16 across. This right here will be the b value divided by 2 squared. So what is half of that? Negative 4. Negative 4 squared is a 16. So if I add 16 to one side, I actually have to add 16 to the other side. Half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. If I add 4 to one side, I have to add 4 to the other side. When I add everything over here, it ends up just becoming a 4. At this point, you guys need to know how to factor this and how to factor this. And these are very easily factored. All you have to understand when you complete the square, it's going to be x and then half whatever this number is. What's half of a negative 8? So it's going to be x minus 4 plus, that's right, plus y plus 2 squared because that's half of a positive 4. So you finished. This is your final answer. X minus 4 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 4. This is your equation for your circle. Here's the standard form for the circle. That's your standard form right there. Okay? Now, this gives you your h value, it gives you your k value, and it also gives you your r value. What is the h value? What's the center of my circle? 4 and a negative 2. If it's x minus h and you have a 4, then your h value is 4. If it's y minus k and you have a plus 2, that means your k value has to be a negative 2. And what is your r value equal to if r squared is equal to 4? 2. There we go. This is what you need to be able to graph your circle accurately. So in your journal right now, what I'd like you to do is just make a little graph right here. You're going to go over 4 units, down 2 units, right here, put a point. Then if your radius is 2, all I'm looking for you to be able to do is from that center, plot points 2 units away from the center, and then carefully, to the best of your ability, draw your circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to use a compass, but at least it has to be semi-accurate. Okay? Using the points that you plotted around the center. So your center right here, there'll be an open space for you guys to plot, to plug in your values for x and y. So right here, there's the center. There's your equation. Bless you. There's your graph. And that's the answer to number 5. All right, problem number 6. You'll have one on your final. This is going to be an ellipse. I've written everything out here that you guys need to write out. This one's a little bit trickier because we can't just complete the square. All right, in the first part of the problem, you guys need to factor out a 9. In the second part of the problem, you need to factor out a 4. Okay? So right now, you're dividing everything by a 9. 9x squared divided by 9 is x squared. 54 divided by 9 is a 6. And now I'm allowed to complete the square because I only have the coefficient of 1 in front of the x squared. So what is half of 6? 3. 3 squared is a 9. So we'll put a 9 in. However, I'm not going to put a 9 over here because technically this 9 is being multiplied by a 9. So it means over here I have to put in 81. What do I have to divide everything by in the red part? 4. So I have y squared. What's negative 16 divided by 4? Negative 4. Now I can complete the square because half of this is negative 2, and negative 2 squared is a 4. But I can't put a 4 right here. I need to put a 16 because 4 times 4 is 16. Now, on the right side, everybody. 36. You add negative 61, 81, and 16, you get a 36. We need to factor this. And we need to factor this right here. So right now, I have 9 parentheses squared plus 4 parentheses squared equals a 36. So Ryan, why don't you factor this for me?
All right, it's going to be x plus 3,
Okay.
and it's going to be y minus 2.
Okay. So once again, all you guys have to do is look at the middle term, everybody, and look what it does. Just take what? Half of it, both times. Okay. That's a quick way of just being able to factor it. You complete the square. Now, the pattern is this. 3 plus 3 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive way. It's another way of looking at it. Now, in an ellipse, we don't want the right side to equal a 36. We actually want it to equal what? 1. So we have to divide everything by 36. All right, Ryan, go ahead. Tell me what's going to be in the denominator of 4. Okay.
And then you're going to have is it 8? 9. Oh, 9, yeah.
Because 4 goes into 36 9 times. And finally, all of this is equal to a 1. Now, in an ellipse, your a squared is always the biggest. In a hyperbola, your a squared is what's leading out. Okay? So here, I need you guys to understand that this 9 right here represents your a squared, and this 4 right here represents your b squared. Okay? So whichever is the largest, everybody, in the denominator for an ellipse, that's going to be it's going to help you determine which is your a squared or which is your b squared. So right now, the most important thing is we need to start at the center of the ellipse. The center is going to be at a negative 3, 2. So I want you guys, where you guys have the word center in your journal, make it a what? Negative 3, 2. I'm going to scroll up real quick. I'm going to write negative 3, 2. We're going to go over 3 units, 2 units, put a point right there. Our A value is 3 units. Our B value is 2 units. This is where students will mess up. How do we know which direction to go? Where's the a squared located underneath? It's underneath which value? The y's. That means I got to go up and down if it's underneath the y's. If your a squared is underneath the y's, I have to go up and down. So I'm going to go up 3 units and put a point, and down 3 units and put a point. The b value is 2, so I got to go to the right and to the left 2. By the way, what we just plotted here, everybody, these are referred to as your vertices, everybody. Those are your vertices. So I have all 4 vertices. So right here, we're at a -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, +2. Correct. -5, +2. We're also at a -1, +2. Then we're at a -3. And how high up does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're at a -3, -1. Those are your 4 vertices. You're going to have to label all 4 of them. Once you've labeled them, then at this point, everybody, just do the best you can to draw a nice ellipse. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should go through what? I should see it go through the vertices. Okay? So do your best to make sure it goes through the vertices. I'll write down the equation up here so you can see it again. This is x plus 3 squared over 4 plus y minus 2 squared over 9 equals 1. And the last thing you have to find is the foci. Now, there's an equation that only works with an ellipse. The equation to help you find your c value is this. C squared will equal a squared minus b squared in an ellipse. It's a squared plus b squared with a hyperbola. So c squared equals 9 minus 5. My a squared is 9, my b squared is 4. I apologize, I messed up here. It's supposed to be 9 minus 4. I was thinking ahead here. 9 minus 4, c squared is equal to 5. So c, everybody, equals the square root of 5. Now, the foci are going to be located right along this particular axis called the major axis right here. They're not going to be on the minor axis, which is right here. Okay? So, here's your formula for your foci. It's going to be h, comma, k, plus or minus c. This is your formula right here that you would use for your foci for this particular problem. So one of my foci is going to be at a -3, 2 minus radical 5. And the other one's going to be at a -3, comma, 2 plus radical 5. Okay? Now radical 5 is approximately equal to 2.24. So this would put me at a 4.2. And this would put me at a -0.2 as far as the approximate value. So your foci are going to be right here, right about here. I'll call this focus 2. I'll call this focus 1. Okay? There's everything for number 6. This is the last problem we're going to do on this video. We're going to do 2 more problems in the next video.